What happened to my... It like reset. Interesting. Sorry about that. What's going on, everybody? That's why it's connecting to the wrong. Be right back. Oh yeah, I forgot I zoom that in. Let me get set up real quick. Tamimi, Adedley, Jordan, Bob, Scott, ST, Anna, Tamimi, Joel, Steve, Jason, Knives. Good morning, everybody. Zishan, good morning. Got about 1 minute here. What's up, Trader J? All right, let's get it. Not quite the candle I was looking for. It would have worked for the downside. In. I went too far, didn't I? Come on, one more, one more. Fuck. Come on, one more. One more. Oh. Went too far down, I guess. Come on, one more. One more. Push it. No. Come on, one more down. Just one more. Get to that next area. All right, guys, I might be done. I might be done with that strat for a little bit. I don't. Wow. We got so lucky. That was the eval account. That was the eval account we bought from yesterday. It still doesn't change my thought process. I either have to change how I'm trading because these levels are they're just getting faked out. These last 2-3 weeks, the levels that I was using and it was just doing this is now just getting faked out nonstop, and I don't know what to do about it. This is just getting brutal. Yeah, thankfully it was the eval. It still doesn't fix the fact that the trade's not working right now. Yes, I'm not doing the opposite, man. Get over it. Those accounts are going to blow so much faster. It's not even funny. Maybe if you're using 1 or 2 contracts, I could see it working. But if you're going with the bigger size, it's literally never going to work. I originally, you saw where my order was. I was going to front run. And then I moved it to use the level because I'm like, no, I'm not front running. How do you trade the opposite of a two-sided trade? He's saying instead of going long at the highs and short at the lows, he's saying reverse it. Or wait, aren't you the one that originally were talking about that?
You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning, you wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your
The only
judgment.
thing
Don't know, but
that I'm
some
thinking about
things
changing
never
is maybe
change,
trying to use
never
that
change.
first candle. Like let the first candle form and then just go above and below it. It's just frustrating. I mean, how close was I to getting my order filled? I mean, I was pretty close.
But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You break your
I originally put my order at 267, then I canceled it. That would have worked perfectly. I would have front ran.
make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain.
The low of that candle was 257.25. We were at 20, so 8 ticks. So we only got halfway there.
Redemption.
I'm not gonna lie, when it tried that very last time on the initial candle, I almost just hit the flatten button. Because again, like that's the price action. I could clearly see they were running into buyers, but I just didn't I thought it would go down to that 250. I really thought there was no way we didn't test 250. When I walked away, I was just like I needed a drink anyway, and I was like I got a feeling that this is just going to reverse. So it was like I already knew the painting was on the wall at that point. And I don't really. And again, like even no matter the amount of contracts that I used, I mean, this was a losing trade because just like the other day, or was it yesterday? This just went higher. Jason. Yeah, I used the eval completely on purpose because I had a feeling it was going to fake out today. Oh, man. What a joke. What a joke. I just don't quite understand it. Well, Trader J, it's not profitable long term if you're looking at actual numbers. We know this. What a lot of people don't understand is the thought process behind the strat is if you can get to payout on just one account, that essentially pays for 10 more total accounts. That's the idea. Where this first minute, one candle above or below. Yeah, but what are you basing profitability on? Like when you say it's not profitable, what are you basing that on? I keep my tick target pretty low, 10 or 12. I mean, even 10 wouldn't have got hit. It went 7 today from where I got filled. I didn't even check to see if where I got filled was where I put my order, but it looked like it was. on PAs. I don't know. I'm a firm believer. Like when I was doing this on evals and it was working, why would you change what was working on the eval? Like that, I feel like so many people do that, and you shouldn't. If it was working on the eval, then why wouldn't you do that for real? You know, like that's my thought process.
Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy. Think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me. I know most are festering.
You thought it was gonna go up today, Methodical? I actually assumed it was gonna go down based off of what was happening prior to that. I thought we were just popping up just to go back down and test the lows. That's why I was I was for sure thinking that we were going to go test 250 again, because that's where the low was. It was such a perfect opportunity to do it and then do this, but I guess all the buyers front ran it. 347 dole? What does that mean? Do you think they changed the algorithm so that it fails? What do you mean? What algorithm?
Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy.
View app was at your short entry. I don't. To me, the open, I try not to pay attention to anything, because the whole point is the volatility of that opening candle makes all that irrelevant. I mean, everyone, like if you go back and you look at VWAP on all the opens, the odds are most of them, it's not going to mean a damn thing. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's the one thing I hate about people on YouTube that look at charts after the fact and they're like, oh yeah, look at this one spot I found over the course of this week where it did XYZ. It's like, well, you can go, if you're trying to prove a case, you can always find an instance where that happens. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing at all. I'm just saying, like, the amount of hindsight traders on YouTube is kind of ridiculous. Oh, I am a technical trader. I do technical analysis. And they're like, if you just wait for the 9 to cross the 20 every single time, it's a winning trade. And then they go and cherry pick every time it worked. And they don't show you the 50% of the times that it didn't work. Not trashing the orb. I've got multiple payouts with the orb strat. I'm just trying to say I've backtested the first 1 minute candle 2 ticks. Oh, you're saying after the 9:30 candle. So you're saying if you put an order above and below this, it would still come, like in this case, it would have still came down, tested it, faked out. So the overlapping candle theory. Yeah. And that's why I've stayed away from it, because the overlapping candle theory is a real thing. The only thing I have noticed is when you get a decent candle one way and then it returns all the way back, usually that one continues. So like if it's a down candle, the odds of it continuing down lower aren't great. But if it's a down candle and then it goes into an up candle that reverses that whole candle, the odds are it's going to continue. I have noticed that. Like the reversal is like a lot more. 10 to 12 evals. Are you saying you're 10 out of 12 on evals? I think that's what he meant. The overlapping candle theory, dude, that's something I've been coining. I mean, so the idea is like, look at this move. It's exactly what I'm talking about. This is a down move, right? But look at it. Every candle almost overlaps each other. So we're moving down, but each candle overlaps. So move down, back up, 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 down, back up, down, back up, down, back up. Like every candle, it might be moving down, but in the process of moving down, it's overlapping the candles. It's very rare that you get these big engulfing candles back to back. The odds are you're going to get this overlapping trending type candles. So like if you pick a direction, like right now, if you're like, okay, we're just going to keep moving higher, just try to get in somewhere around the middle of the previous candle and look for it to go higher. It's like that's my theory on the overlapping candles. But if you get the direction wrong, then you're screwed. And it's very rare that you see as it's moving down, the overlapping candles get higher than the previous candle. But when it does, I mean, that could be a possible stop point. I don't really know how you'd want to trade that. That's kind of the problem, is I've never really figured out a way to trade the overlapping candles without just trying to scalp it. Can you look adjust the chart to 500 contract candles? I'm starting to like it better than time-based. I don't even know how to do that, and I'm not sure I want to. Never heard of that. It's a good theory backtest. Yeah. I mean, my backtest is just watching it over and over again. The only time, like news, the open, and stuff like that is when you get these big crazy candles. So frustrating. I'm so happy that that was an eval, but I'm still just frustrated that the trade didn't work. No, I don't have any other theories. Do I ever watch my live streams? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I actually go back and watch the actual trades all the time. Why? Oh, 10 to 12 ticks on eval trades. Gotcha. Same as PA. Gotcha. Guys, I am not calling anybody wrong at all. I'm just telling you what I do and my experience with what I've done. I am not at all trying to prove anybody that what I'm doing is right and what you're doing is wrong. That's the opposite of the truth. Yeah, it's been very frustrating these last couple of weeks. I think it's coming up on 3 weeks now. It's just been a struggle. I'm so mean to you. I'm gonna cry though. You go cry in your corner. I thought I removed this from Rhythmic, but it hasn't popped up yet. I'll try it again. I don't need that negativity sitting there in my face on a Friday. So there is some news today, if I remember, at 10. UOM consumer sentiment. So we're gonna attempt a YOLO and eval, because why not? I just feel like I've been losing nonstop lately, man. It's crazy. Definitely have bought in way too many evals to only have one PA account right now to show for it. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's at 10. Have I tried trading the 6 p.m. Eastern open? How is that possible? Because at 6 p.m. doesn't it just open? Like if it gaps up, etc., gaps up or gaps down? Like I've never seen, when I've been sitting here at 6 the few times that I have, I've never seen the price like actually jump at 6 o'clock. Like it always just opens where it's at and then just kind of chills. The PA feels lonely with no trade. It does. I'm watching for a possible trade. I love the bands trade. As you can see, it would have worked really nicely here. I'm just not a huge fan of it in the first like 10-15 minutes. It finally reset. I like the way that that was setting up there. It was a nice move up, and it was pulling back to that previous key level. The charts load. I might actually take that trade. See how we're right back to here. This doesn't show the other. It actually went right through it. Is there a seller right at my order? All right. So decent little trade there on the PA. So that was just a simple testing a previous level. I literally called it as we were coming back in. Resistance, resistance, support, support. Came right down to it. I was hoping to get a better entry than that, but just looking for it to go back up and retest that previous level. No skibbity. Elriz. Later, Jason. Have a good weekend, man. Couldn't set 2 orders today. Did you have a stop loss in? Sent me a question on Discord. Not too sure about that, to be honest. Let me look in the settings. I feel like there might be a setting that pops that up. Oh. Order entry. Info window. Honestly, I am not sure. I feel like I remember that though. Order entry. So you're saying when you click the mouse button, this guy, it pops that up? Hold control. I'm honestly not sure. I feel like I remember that when I first started using Quant, but I'm not positive. Matt Moxie, good morning. Buy, dip, sell, rip theory? Well, that's just support and resistance. That's always... It's very rare I see like such an obvious one set up like this. So that's more of a, you have to be really patient. The idea behind using the open is that you're in and out and you're on with your day. Yes, I did have a stop loss set. Oh, that's why. How many contracts were you trying to use? Did I see your typing, Steve? Don't think so. Yeah, so I see you said 10 contracts. Yeah. When you if you want a stop loss, you could only use 5. Because you can only put 10 total order or 10 total contracts. So we got the news here in about 3.5 minutes. I feel like this has to break. If it wants to go back up to the highs, it has to break above here and hold. Yeah, so Dan, you could even practice that now. So if you try it with 5 contracts, you can let me reload quant one more time so it shows what's the eval and what's not, so I don't mess it up. Not showing up. There we go. Load up. Let's go. So Precision, I still haven't received the email. I know I even took a trade yesterday, a small trade, just to make sure I was at 6 days, but I'm pretty sure I'm at 7 or 8 days now. I still haven't gotten an email, which is pretty frustrating. Is this not going to load? It says it's connecting. It's like stuck on connecting though. Is it really going to prevent? I'm not even going to get a chance to trade the news because it's stuck. It's stuck. It's not even connecting. Oh, there it goes. Oh, 1 minute here. It says loading symbols. Alright, what does 62 look like? Pretty decent. I had a feeling that's gonna be our. I'm sure we're gonna get faked out, but we'll see. Here we go. Apparently not good. Just enough to get us in. Continue, 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 continue. Maybe. Hey. Look at that. Got one that worked. So where are my guys at that say we should play the reverse of that? So if we would have went long instead of short here, not a chance. I was just being a dick. I'm not gonna lie, when it came down to there and started reversing and it went all the way back, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Yay, one that worked. It felt just like the open too. Like it hit here, it came back up, tried to go back down again, and started getting bought up again. And I was like, oh, here we go. This thing's just gonna reverse all the way back. Alan, you can't. You're not allowed on PA accounts. You're not allowed to trade this. If they see that you traded something like this on a PA, they won't count it. They consider it a windfall trade. Yeah, it's news. They don't want people to have like two accounts and essentially like put an order one short, one long, and then you might blow, like you could put an order short and long at the same level, right? And then whichever one works, and you make a huge amount of money if this were to like just keep going. And the other account you lose, but you more than make up for it on the one that worked, right? That's why they have the 30% rule. That's why they have the no news rule. Like that's all to prevent the windfall trades. Because if you could just take one giant trade and then get a payout for it, wouldn't everybody do that? That wouldn't make any sense. And that's why the 30% rule is there. All right, so in theory, we now have 3 PA accounts because of the one on Precision. We just haven't been able to activate that. I wonder if they have like somewhere on their website where you can open like a support ticket. Frequently asked questions, sign up, services. They have a Discord, but I haven't really had too much success in there. Yeah, they let you do it in eval because they're not paying you out on evals. I don't see anywhere. support tickets actually in. Okay, I think I found out how to do that. They let you have bad habits, YOLO trades, then bank. Yeah, that's kind of how the prop model is, to be honest. That's how they make their money. They got to make their money somehow so that they can pay you out when you get the payout. They're essentially just paying you with your own money, if you really think about it. They're just counting on you giving them more money than they give you. That was a nice retest area. Fail. Again, guys, support and resistance. These lines are nothing new. I drew them earlier from the obvious support and resistance lines. Then we made this move down on that news, bounced, came back up again, another support and resistance line. Didn't quite get there, but nice rejection back down into the range. Sometimes I wish I would just make it that easy. Just look for the obvious support and resistance lines and just trade those. Just look for them to stay in a range. I would have to be so disciplined, which I know I could be, but I would have to be so disciplined to say get in here and then just always stop out when it comes up here, right? So I take these losses, but I would have to also be disciplined on my take profits, where I know the whole point of this strat is to come down and retest that same level. So I would have to be disciplined to not take profit until you get down there, right? So that way your wins are always bigger than your losses, etc. Why make trading easy? It's not fun. Feel alive when you YOLO. You know, the whole YOLOing thing is, I'm kind of over it. I do YOLO the evals, but I don't get the nerves with it anymore. It's like it either works or it doesn't. Like, you know what you're doing and you're doing it for a reason. So it either works or it doesn't. What a morning, what a morning. This was not the Friday morning I was expecting. I was hoping to just have the trade work. We would have been a couple trades away from payout. But instead, we blow an eval by a complete accident. Take a regular trade on the PA and then pass an eval on news. It was not how my morning was planned out. Wow, look at that move. All right, I'm looking up something. S- 16, 24, 32, 2. What's everybody doing over the weekend? Have a great weekend, Emmanuel. Does YouTube have channel points? Not that I know of. I know you can purchase the channel membership and it gives you a special color and it gives you like a badge, etc. Oh, Jocko, I wasn't looking for the support ticket for Apex. I was looking for it for Precision. I think Alpine only traded the open on one account this morning, but it looks like it worked. Pretty nice little sweep there under that key level. This comes up and breaks through here, the odds are it'll make a nice little run back up. Might take a while. Might have a bunch of overlapping candles. Ooh, All right, I got a joke for you guys. Anybody actually here that wants to hear a joke? It's a little Johnny joke. All right. So little Johnny's at class and the teacher asks, does anybody want to answer a question? Little Johnny says, I will. So the teacher says, okay, little Johnny, if there's 3 ducks sitting on a fence and I shoot one of them, how many are left? Johnny says, none. The teacher says, it's actually 2, but please, little Johnny, explain your thought process. The little Johnny says, well, if I shoot one, the other 2 are going to fly away. She's like, wow, little Johnny, I like the way that you think. And then little Johnny says, well, I have a question for you, Miss Teacher. She says, go ahead. Little Johnny says, you got 3 girls that came out of an ice cream shop. One is licking the cone, one is sucking the cone, and one is biting the cone. Which one is married? Little Johnny. The teacher says, the one that's sucking it. Little Johnny says, it's actually the one wearing the wedding ring, but I like the way that you think. It's pretty funny. See you, MT. See you on Monday, man. We're gonna come down and test that that band. It's a pretty good one, right? I mean, I thought it was pretty good. Ice cream. More music intro. Yeah, that's so true. If we can get a big push down into this band, I was probably going to take a trade real quick before I get out of here. Especially because we were at green to red and low a day. I'd also be somewhat interested in a possible short. If we pop back up to this 260 area and start to reject. Downstairs. Downstairs. Another joke? Sure. What do you call a bear with no teeth? Yep, gummy bear. Gummy bear. That's a dad joke. Or Tesla shorts. I don't know what to tell. The last time I saw it, sorry, I'm helping. My wife's getting ready to go on her Mother's Day trip of her annual Mother's Day trip. And she's looking for a plug that she can't find. Oh, there was the short right there. It's the exact trade I was talking about. Just ran into that previous support, now resistance, and you get the flush back down to the previous level. I think that's going to do it for me, guys. I'm just going to leave this one go. Don't really have anything else happening right now, so you all have a good weekend. I will be here Monday morning, same time, same place. We'll have another PA account to kind of mess around with. I think I'll keep trading maybe this way, looking for obvious support and resistance type levels, and maybe start trading those with the new PA and see if we can't get that moving. Have a little separate strategy to use versus the open. But I'm still going to trade the open on the other account, and hopefully it ends up working itself out. But I will see you all. Have a good weekend. If you guys want to talk before Monday, feel free to find me in Discord. I'll be in there all weekend for the most part. Just have kids stuff to do here and there. But have a good weekend. Until Monday. Peace.